Hello, my name is Nathan Taylor, otherwise known as Sockmatician, and this is a double knitting tutorial. In this one we're going to be looking at how to make bobbles in double knitting. As you can see with this shawl here, I've got some green bobbles on the orange side and some orange bobbles on the green side. These bobbles are incredibly neat and tidy. They may be a little bit more involved than some bobbles that you've worked before, but if you want to try a different style, you can always adapt what I'm showing you here to the bobbles that you know. It's just that these ones have a wonderful round shape and are very neat and tidy indeed. So I'm going to be working a purple bobble into this purple stitch. So the purple stitch is a contrast colour to the stitches in the background here, because I want the purple bobble to sit on the yellow background and the yellow bobble to sit on the purple background. So what I can do for now is I can drop this yellow yarn completely, and I'm an English style knitter, so I'll put the purple yarn into my right hand and I'm ready to go. The first thing to do is to knit into that stitch but leave the old stitch on the needle. Then I'm going to make a yarn over, knit back into the same stitch and again leave it on the needle, make another yarn over and then knit into that stitch one more time and slip off like that. So I've created 5 stitches out of one. Knit one, yarn over, knit one, yarn over, knit one. Then you can either turn the work and purl back, but I prefer to sort of knit backwards, because if you're doing quite a lot of these, you don't want to be turning the work every few seconds. So in order to knit backwards, I insert the tip of my left needle into the back leg of the stitch, wrap my yarn around the left needle, pull the stitch through and slip the old one off. And that's knitting backwards, but if you don't want to do that, you are perfectly welcome to turn the work round and purl back on the other side. So that's that. The next row is just 5 knit stitches again, so we're building up a little section of stocking stitch into the 5 stitches that we created out of the first original stitch. 4 and 5, and I am going to turn the work here because I'm going to be doing some decreases on the back of the work, and I want to make life easy for myself, to be quite honest. So there we go. The first decrease is a P2 together, so I'm literally just going to work into those 2 stitches, purl them together, then I'm going to purl the middle stitch of the 5, and then I'm going to work an SSP into these last 2. Now an SSP is done like this: slip one knitwise, slip one knitwise, transfer them both back to the left needle purlwise, and then coming in round the back, I'm going to purl these 2 together through the back legs. So I'm just going to come in towards me like that, purl into the stitches, away from me like that, and I am ready to go. And I'm going to turn the work. I'm going to drop this yarn now. Oddly, it looks like I want to do all of these again, but I'm going to actually create the last stitch with the other yarn. So I'm going to drop that one over to the back. I'm going to pick up the yellow yarn where it's been waiting patiently. Oops, got everything a little bit tangled up there as I was turning around. But the yellow yarn, can you see I'm keeping the 2 nice and separate, but I'm bringing the yellow yarn in play, and with that I'm going to work a centered double decrease, and I'll show you why in a minute. It may seem a bit odd to be doing it in the yellow yarn, but to work the centered double decrease the way I like to work them, I slip 2 stitches knitwise and together from the left needle to the right, and then I slip the 3rd stitch also knitwise. Then I insert the tip of my left needle coming towards me into all 3 of those stitches like that, and then I knit them together and slide off. Give everything a nice little tug, otherwise things get a little bit loose and floppy there. But can you see what I've done? I've now got a background colour stitch coming out of the top of this rather natty bobble. It's a really lovely shape there, it's really beautifully formed. And if I had a purple stitch there, my bobble would sort of be teardrop shaped, and I don't want that. I want it to be more rounded. So that's why we work the last stitch in the contrast colour to the bobble, but the same colour as the background, if that makes sense. So that's the first bobble completed. Still working with this yarn, because now I want to make a yellow bobble, so I keep this yarn in play. I bring that yarn to the front, and I'm going to purl into the next stitch, but as we did with the first one, I'm not going to slip it off. I'm going to leave it on there, yarn over, which on the purl side means coming back to the front, purl again, leaving it there, and then yarn over again, finally purl a third time for a fifth stitch into there and slip off. There we go. This one I am going to turn around because purling backwards is kind of a bit weird. Now I'm going to knit these 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then this is where I like to knit backwards again rather than turning the work and purling, although you could. I'm going to knit into all 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now I'm ready to start doing the decreases. Forgive me while I just untangle my yarns a bit. And this time I'm going to work an SSK, and for the avoidance of doubt, an SSK worked correctly in terms of symmetry with a knit 2 together is slip 1 stitch knitwise, slip the second stitch also knitwise, stick the needle in, the left needle in that way, and knit the 2 together through the back legs like that. Then I'm going to knit the middle stitch, and then a simple knit 2 together like so. Now I'm down to my 3 stitches again, so at this point I'm going to turn the work. I'm going to drop this current yarn here, and I'm going to bring the other yarn, the purple yarn this time, to the front. I'm working on the back of this bobble now, and I want to finish it off with the contrasting colour the same way we did with the first one. Now I need to work a centred double decrease, but seen from the back, or worked from the purl side. So the way I'm going to do that is I slip 1 stitch knitwise, I slip a second stitch knitwise, I slip them both back to the left needle together but also knitwise. That means coming around the front like that and sliding them across like so, and then I can purl all 3 of those stitches. Oop, if I can get the needle in there. Purl all 3 of those stitches together like that, give everything a nice tug to snug everything up, and then I can take both yarns together to the back of the work. So what I've got now, let me just work a couple of pairs of stitches away from these, because and this is important as well, to make sure that this is all nice and snug. Otherwise things do get a little bit loose and floppy. And now you can see I've got this fabulously shaped purple bobble on the front, coming out of a yellow stitch and going back into a yellow stitch. And on the back of the work, I've got this equally lovely, beautifully shaped yellow bobble coming out of a purple stitch and going back into a purple stitch. And that's your 5-stitch bobble in double knitting. Zip!